Before we divide these polynomials together, I want to go through the regular algorithm just using numbers because in this case we're going to have a remainder and we need to know how to handle it. The first step is to divide, so 4 goes into 9 twice. Then we would multiply 4 times 2, get 8. Subtract the 8 and get 1. There's nothing to bring down here, and I'm not going to include decimals here because we're not going to be dividing with decimals inside here. My remainder is really just going to be what is left over divided by my divisor, which makes sense. 4 times 2 is 8, and there's 1 remaining. That 1 is 1/4 of 4. So when we do this division, if there is a remainder, we're going to have whatever the remainder is as a numerator of a fraction, and the denominator of that fraction is going to be the original divisor outside. So let's go through our process here and see if that makes sense. The first thing we're going to do is divide the first term by the first term. So negative 20x to the third divided by negative 5x. Well, negative 5 goes into negative 20 positive 4 times, and x goes into x to the third x squared times. So this would be positive 4x squared. And again, I need to write the x squared term above the x squared term to stay organized. Next, we will multiply or distribute the positive 4x squared over this binomial. Positive 4x squared times negative 5 is negative 5x is negative 20x to the third, which is identical to this, and it has to be, so I know I'm on the right track. Positive 4x squared times negative 2 would be negative 8x squared. At this point, I'm going to subtract both of these, keeping in mind that when I subtract a negative, that's really adding a positive. So I'm changing the signs of both of these. Negative 20x to the third plus 20x to the third is 0, and it has to be if I'm doing the right thing. 17x squared plus 8x squared would be 25x squared. Next, after I subtract, I'm going to bring down the positive 15x. I'll repeat the process and now divide 25x squared by negative 5x. Well, negative 5 times negative 5 is positive 25, and x times x is x squared, so this is going to be negative 5x. Negative 5x times negative 5x is positive 25x squared. These are identical, so I know I'm doing it right. Negative 5x times negative 2 is positive 10x. After I multiply, I need to subtract, which means I'm going to change both of these signs now from positive to negative. 25x squared minus 25x squared is 0. Again, I know I'm on the right track. Positive 15x minus 10x is positive 5x, and now I can bring down the positive 13. After I bring down, I'm going to repeat the process. So I'm going to divide positive 5x by negative 5x. Well, that goes in negative 1 times. Note how my x squared is above my x squared, my x is above my x, and my constant is above my constant. Negative 1 distributed over this whole thing is just going to give me positive 5x, which needs to be identical, and it is, so I know I'm doing it right. Negative 1 times negative 2 would be positive 3. After I do the multiplication, I need to subtract, which really means I'm changing both of these signs. 5x minus 5x is 0, and it has to be, so I know I'm doing it right. Positive 13 minus 3 would be positive 10. Now, just like up here, I have nothing left to bring down, so this 10 is my remainder, and it's going to go over my divisor, just like I did up here.